So chapter 6 opener, video number 2. This time we are going to find the domain and range of the functions represented by the graphs. And I don't know why graph got way over there, but it did. Alright, so number 3, we look at it, and it is a continuous function, okay? So that means my domain is all the numbers between a certain set, okay? And domain is going from left to right. So I look where it ends there, and it ends there. And it does have a solid dot, so it will equal those points. So it goes to the left at -3, which will be less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to, and it stops when x is 3. Okay, so that's how big ideas will want your answer. If you were to write this in interval notation, it can equal the 3's, so they need to have brackets, and it would be like that. Okay, now the range. That's the y values. It's from how low does it go. Okay, so it goes all the way down here and it stops up there. Okay, so it goes down to -2, so that's less than or equal to y, which will be less than or equal to, and it goes up to 1. Okay, so that's how Big Ideas wants it. In interval notation, it would be -2 to 1. Number 4 is what it looks like when it's just dots, just points on the graph. So it's not a continuous graph. Alright, our domain, it's going to be the set of those numbers, those x values. So it's going to start with a squiggle bracket. I don't know how I should say that. And we always start reading it from the left to right, like we're reading a book. Okay? And the x values, so it has an x here when x is 3. So 3 is one of the points. Has an x value at, I'm sorry, that's a -3. Whoops, put negative there. -2, -1. It has one when x is 0. It has a point when x is 1. Has a point when x is 2. And has a point when x is 3. And you end the set by using a little squiggle bracket again. Okay? There's no interval notation for this. I mean, that is how you would write this set. This domain. Okay, the range are the y values. We start from where y is listed down below and work our way up. So there's a y at -3. So again, you do squiggle bracket. It means you're starting a set of numbers. So -3. There's a point when y is -2. There is not a point when y is -1, so that's not in our set. There's 2 points when y is 0. We only have to list 0 one time. And then there's one when y is 1, when y is 3, and y is 4. And then that ends that set. So that's how we list the domains when it's just points on the graph. It's not continuous with endpoints like it is on number 3. Okay, number 5 is continuous, but this time it doesn't have endpoints. Okay? So our domain are all the x values. How far left, how far right? It's going forever. So this would be all real numbers, and I'm just going to use the symbol. In interval notation, that would be -infinity to infinity. Okay? Now our range does not go forever both up and down. Okay? It has a bottom to it, because we always say how low does it go first. So if it went down forever, okay, that would be different if it had a top. So it does have a bottom, and that is when y is -2, and then y goes up forever. So y is greater than or equal to -2, because y is bigger than it, and it does equal it. And then in interval notation, that would be a -2 to infinity. If this would have been aimed down, it would have been -infinity to -2 as interval notation, and it would have been y is less than or equal to -2. Alright, so the practice problems that go along with this are numbers 5 and 7, and then you can submit, because 8 went with the first examples, and then turn it into a PDF and submit into Canvas.